Hey everybody, it's Brett, the Hoosier Carnivore. I'm just going to give you a little tutorial here real quick on how to dry brine your ribeye or any other steak you want to do. Ribeye, New York strip, filet, whatever you want to do. It's a simple, easy process and it will add some flavor to your steak. So here we go. Alright, so here we've got our beautiful ribeye. This is one of the ribeyes I showed you guys before. Look at all that. That's almost a prime ribeye there. So what you want to do, you want to make sure your ribeye or whatever steak you're using is good and dry. I've already taken this one out of the freezer, thawed it, and dried it off with some paper towels. You're going to need some salt. I like to use this chunky Baja Gold mineral salt. It works really well for this, but really any kind of salt will do. And what you want to do is you need a little rack. This is a little rack. It's got feet on it, so it stands up off of here because you want the air to be able to get underneath your steak. And I've got a steak to show you that's already been dry brined, so you'll know what it looks like when it's done. So very simple. We're just going to put the salt in my right hand because I'm right-handed. And we're just going to salt the steak. That's enough. I'm going to press it in there. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to start a curing process. That's more than enough. What we're going to do in this curing process, the salt is going to more or less dissolve as it pulls the moisture up out of this steak. That's what kind of brining and curing does, is it will draw some of the moisture out of this steak, it will dissolve the salt, and then it will kind of suck back in as the surface of the steak dries a little bit. And you want to do this in your refrigerator 24 to 36 hours. I like to do mine, I don't know, a little more than 24, maybe 30 hours. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you're basically, I put a little paper plate under here to catch any drips, but if you dry your steak off, there's not going to be a whole lot of drips. So this will go in the fridge. You won't have to salt it or do anything else to it throughout the whole process. Let's get rid of that. And then here I will show you. This is a steak that I dry brined yesterday. I got this out, I don't know, yesterday morning, and now it's about 5 o'clock in the evening. So this has gone about 30 hours. And as you can see, the color of the steak changed quite a bit. It got much richer, more red, kind of dried a little bit on the sides. It's not sticky anymore, but it does have a nice kind of pellicule texture to it. And the fat even kind of changed colors a little bit. And it's like that on both sides, as you can see. So what this is going to do, and you can see there's a couple little pieces of salt still stuck to it, I think that were maybe on this plate. But all the salt that was on here, as you can see, I didn't wipe it off. The steak, leached its moisture out, the salt dissolved, and then it went right back into the steak. So there's your two steaks. This one's going in. We'll probably eat that one tomorrow. And then this one is going on the grill tonight. So if you have any questions, please post those in the comments. And, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. But give dry brining a chance. I think you might like the way your steaks come out. They'll be, I think it just helps maybe a little with the tenderness, and it gives it just a little different flavor than just taking it out and throwing it on the grill. So give it a try. It's different than dry aging. Dry aging, you're leaving it in there like 28 days, not 28 hours. So I made a little mistake when I was on. I wasn't on, but I was listening to Todd Bachnes and Lindy and Michael on the my 700-pound plus weight loss live the other night, and they were talking about it. So this is a dry brine, not a dry age. So I just wanted to make that distinction in case you had a question about it or didn't know what the difference was. If you leave this thing in there for 28 days, you want to do it with like a whole roast, because you'll have to trim off the outside of it, because it will actually turn, and you don't want to eat that. But the meat on the inside, it will be so good. One of these days, I may get a ribeye roast and actually try to dry age it. But for now, dry brining works really well, and it adds extra flavor to your steak. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know if you've ever done this before and what you think, if you think it's worth doing or not worth doing. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye. Hey, I can't go yet. I'm going to grill this thing for you. So we got our little Louisiana grills going. Got our little guy that I got on Facebook Marketplace for $50. It's a Louisiana Grills grill. Got a little condensation in there. That'll go away. But it's in good use condition. And I got a little charcoal starter in there and some Kingsford charcoal. We got the vents open. And I got this specifically for like making, one steak. There's my steaks over there. Because this thing will get hot, hot, hot. This is a piece of cherry wood that I'm going to throw on there. I just got it sitting there waiting till I put the grill on. We're going to let this charcoal get going. This thing is going to get roaring hot, and I'm going to sear the crap out of that dry brine steak. So stay tuned for that. Alright, this fire's getting going. I threw some old briquettes on there from the last cook. Carnivores don't waste meat, and good barbecuers don't waste charcoal. So, you don't always have to dump out all of your old charcoal and then put new charcoal in for your cook. I put some new charcoal in there. There's some new charcoal down there at the bottom that's getting hot. But you can also recycle and use some of your old charcoal if it's still in big enough pieces. So I save them and throw them on there, and they'll heat up and get hot and cook your food. So don't waste your charcoal. It will relight. All right, we'll be back. In case you're wondering, this ribeye weighed in at 15 ounces. Might have been 16 yesterday, but today it's 15. Next time I'll weigh it first. But 15 ounces. Can't wait. Can't wait. Not yet. Not yet. In case you're wondering what kind of table this is, I got it on Amazon. Thought it looked, pretty stable with a nice wide stance. It goes basically to the four corners of the top of it. Thought it'd be pretty stable to put something heavy on like this grill. I actually got it for offsetting, the grill plates when I need to take those off Big Joe and they're hot. I needed some place, safe to set it instead of, I can't set it down here on the wood but I can on that metal table. So that's kind of what I got it for, but it actually works kind of perfect for this little Kamado grill from Louisiana Grills. I gave the charcoal a stir, and it's heating up, and we're going to be ready to cook in just a few minutes. Told you guys these things got hot. Look at this thing. It's coming up on 500 degrees. Just about ready to get started. Oh yeah, there we go. I put the grill grate in, and I put the piece of cherry wood down there, just waiting for that to start smoking a little bit, which it won't take long. And we'll throw this steak on. And I'll show you my 2.5 minute method. Hoorah, 650 degrees. Let's go. Let's go. All right, steak is on. We're going to start our timer 2.5 minutes. We're going to give this thing 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to turn it, and then 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to flip it, and 2.5 minutes, we're going to turn it, and then it'll be ready to eat. All right, time to turn. That color on that thing. All right, so we're not flipping it yet. Hard to do one-handed. So we are going to turn it, give it another 2.5 minutes. I was just checking it, make sure it wasn't overcooking. And it's not. We're good. Okay, that fat's starting to sear up. What we're going to do, we're going to close this. We're going to close this, and that will snuff the fire out, as you can see, and it will continue to cook. All right, our fire's out. I'll be able to open that a little bit. Oh, the smell is incredible. Oh, man. All right, here's our last turn. Just gonna give this a turn. I'm gonna check it. Oh yeah, looking great. That definitely worked. Closing the lid and shutting the vent down. We'll just make sure that's open, but this also swivels open for extra air. But we'll just leave it like that. All right, about 2.5 more minutes, and we'll pull it off to rest. All right, our steak is done. Looks wonderful. All right, now we're going to pull it off. I'm going to let it rest there on my plate. It'll be ready to eat in a few minutes. We'll just let it rest there and get happy. Look how that fat colored up. Wonderful. Wonderful. Spinella's got a little done right here. I guarantee you it's going to be nice and tender on the inside. All right. Okay, little disclaimer. I've only cooked steak on that little thing a couple of times, and I think maybe 2.5 minutes aside was a little much because we ended up with a medium steak instead of a medium rare steak. But it still looks really good. I'm going to enjoy this steak tremendously. But, you know, they can't always come out perfect. And, you know, I'm going to, you know, put this video out anyway, even though I didn't make the perfect steak the perfect way I like it. It still came out really good. But just next time, maybe 2 minutes per turn instead of 2.5. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But hey, we're eating steak, and holy crap. It is so good. Juicy. Sure, it's not medium rare, but it looks pretty good. The charcoal, the cherry wood really gave it a great smoky flavor. And this thing is like insanely juicy. So remember, this was a dry brine video. So if you think a dry brined steak can't come out juicy, I mean, this thing is juicy as all get out. All right, I'm gonna do one more bite here. My God, so tender. You know, if it wasn't dry brined, steak might not be as tender as it is. But still very soft, very juicy. So, please like, subscribe, and join me for my next video. We'll see you later. Bye.